Ladies and gentlemen, motorsports fan and lovers of speed. We are here to talk about a spectacle that's more than just cars going in circles. Formula One is a moving chessboard at 350 kilometers an hour. It's about fractions of a second, team strategy, and raw courage, sometimes heartbreak. The 2025 Formula One season has nothing short of heartbreaking so far, as the engines fell silent after the Hungarian Grand Prix on 3rd of August. The sport entered its traditional summer break, a rare pause in an otherwise relentless career. This is our chance to stop, reflect, and look at how the story of 2025 has unfolded and where it might go from here. McLaren, the return of a giant. Every season has a defining team. In 25, that team is McLaren. The numbers speak volume. McLaren sits is top constructors championship with 599 points, a lead so large it almost feels surreal. Their nearest rival, Ferrari, is nearly 300 points behind. But the drama is not outside the McLaren, it's inside. On one side, Oscar Piastri, calm, methodological, a young driver who has made consistency his weapon. On the other hand, Lando Norris, charismatic, aggressive, finally coming into his own victories, that shows he is not contented to be the second best. Just before the summer break, Norris cut the gap to just 9 points. He's won 3 of the last 4 races, including high-pressure triumph in Austria. And while the world sees McLaren domination, within the Orange Garage there's tension brewing. Two drivers, one team, one dream. The risk of internal implosion. As you've seen history, Senna, Prost at McLaren in 1980s, Hamilton and Rosberg at Mercedes in the 2010s. Sometimes your biggest rival isn't across the paddock, it's across the garage. The rivalry is beyond McLaren. Of course, McLaren isn't racing in a vacuum. Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, and others are still fighting tooth and nail for every podium and every point. Ferrari, a team in revival, Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton have kept the Scuderia Ferrari in fight for the P2 in the constructors. They might not be challenging McLaren yet, but they are proving consistency can keep you in the hunt. Red Bull. For years, Red Bull and Max Verstappen defined dominance, but this year Verstappen has carried nearly the entire team's points. 96% of Red Bull's tally. That tells us the car is slipping from the magic feeling. Mercedes, the proud silver arrows, finally broke through with George Russell's victory in Canada. It wasn't just a win, it was a reminder that Mercedes still is capable of brilliance. For Kimi Antonelli, in the twilight of his career, each race is shot at proving he can still dance with the best. The season hasn't been about winning and losers, it's been about history. At the Hungarian Grand Prix, the entire top 10 in qualifying was separated by just 0.543 seconds. That's the closest speed in F1 history. Blink and you might miss it. Nico Hülkenberg, the man nicknamed the unluckiest driver, finally got his podium in a stone 39th race. It, it was met with his cheers across the paddock because sometimes F1 rewards persistence. Every single team on the grid has scored points this year. That means from the front to the back, everyone in the fight, even rookies like Gabriel Bortoleto and Sauber have stepped up and dragged their teams higher in standings. Think about it. The veterans to rookies, from champions to midfield battlers, 2025 has given every driver something to fight for. To really understand how we got here, we need to revisit some of the races that shaped the season so far. Australia and early rounds, Piastri's home crowd rose as he battled for wins, setting the tone for McLaren races. Japan, Verstappen reminded everyone he's still forced by taking the victory at Suzuka, proof that Red Bull can still punch through their weights. Canada, the race that broke McLaren's aura of invincibility. George Russell and Mercedes seized victory after Norris and Piastri collided. The single race was a turning point, not just for Mercedes, but for the championship momentum. Austria, Landon Norris delivered under pressure, winning from pole. Meanwhile, Sauber shocked the paddock by scoring a rare double points finish, showing the midfield battle is still alive. Silverstone's Hulkenberg's podium, a reminder that every fairy tale still exists in Formula One. Each of these races added a new chapter, a twist in the season that's already unpredictable despite McLaren's lead. And now, as the car sits in silence, drivers take a chance to breathe. The summer break is a scared pause. Some head to family, others tropical beaches, and some like Fernando Alonso may even keep like training machines. But every driver uses his break differently to recharge mentally, recover physically, and reset emotionally. For the teams, it's both rest and recalibration. Engineers are already analyzing data, preparing upgrades, and planning strategies for the 9 race sprint that remains. Looking ahead, The second half of 2025. So, what lies beyond the summer break? We resume at Zanderwood on August 31st. Verstappen's home race. Imagine the roar of the Dutch crowd desperate for their hero to turn against the McLaren juggernaut. From there, we move to Italy, Singapore, and the US, and season ending double in the Middle East. Each track has its own character. Zanderwood, narrow and unforgiving. Monza, the temple of speed. Singapore, a mental and physical marathon. Vegas, spectacle meets sport. Abu Dhabi, the ultimate decider. And hanging over it feel like Norris tries to do it. Will McLaren let them fight? Or will the team's order creep in? Can Ferrari or Mercedes sneak into the picture with an upset? Or will Verstappen see the comeback of a legend? Formula One is not just who crossed the finish line first. It's about stories we tell, the rivalries we witness, and history being written in every lap. The 2025 season has already given us drama, triumph, heartbreak, and history. McLaren's resurgence, Norris and Piastri's rivalry, Russell's breakthrough, Hülkenberg's long-awaited podium. It's been a season to remember. But here's the truth. The story isn't finished. The summer break is just the intermission. The second act is about to begin. And in the first half was fireworks, the second promises an explosion. So buckle up, because when the lights go out in Xanadu, the chase resumes. And the question is not just who will win, but how will history remember the Battle of 2025? Thank you.